The United States Department of Commerce is an executive department of the U.S. federal government, concerned with promoting economic growth. Among its tasks are gathering economic and demographic data for business and government decision making, and helping to set industrial standards. This organization's main purpose is to create jobs, promote economic growth, encourage sustainable development, and block harmful trade practices of other nations. The Department of Commerce is headquartered in the Herbert C. Hoover Building in Washington, D.C. The department was originally created as the United States Department of Commerce and Labor on February 14, 1903. It was subsequently renamed the Department of Commerce on March 4, 1913, as the bureaus and agencies specializing in labor were transferred to the new Department of Labor. The United States Patent and Trademark Office was transferred from the Interior Department into Commerce, and the Federal Employment Stabilization Office existed within the department from 1931 to 1939. In 1940, the Weather Bureau was transferred from the Agriculture Department, and the Civil Aeronautics Authority was merged into the department. In 1949, the Public Roads Administration was added to the department due to the dissolution of the Federal Works Agency. In 1958, the Independent Federal Aviation Agency was created and the Civil Aeronautics Authority was abolished. The United States Travel Service was established by the United States Secretary of Commerce on July 1, 1961. Pursuant to the International Travel Act of 1961, the Economic Development Administration was created in 1965. In 1966, the Bureau of Public Roads was transferred to the newly created Department of Transportation. The Minority Business Development Agency was created on March 5, 1969, originally established by President Richard M. Nixon as the Office of Minority Business Enterprise. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration was created on October 3, 1970. In 2020, the Department of Commerce suffered a data breach following a cyber attack likely conducted by a nation-state adversary, possibly Russia. Herbert Hoover was appointed Secretary of Commerce in 1921 by then-President Warren G. Harding. Hoover was, by far, the most active secretary in the history of the department until the end of his position in 1928. After his election as president in 1920, Warren G. Harding rewarded Hoover for his support, offering to appoint him as either Secretary of the Interior or Secretary of Commerce. Secretary of Commerce was considered a minor cabinet post, with limited and vaguely defined responsibilities. But Hoover, emphasizing his identity as a businessman, accepted the position, in sharp contrast to the Interior Department. There were no scandals at Commerce. Hoover envisioned the Commerce Department as the hub of the nation's growth and stability. His experience mobilizing the wartime economy convinced him that the federal government could promote efficiency by eliminating waste, increasing production, encouraging the adoption of data-based practices, investing in infrastructure, and conserving natural resources. Contemporaries described Hoover's approach as a third alternative between unrestrained capitalism and socialism, which was becoming increasingly popular in Europe. Hoover sought to foster a balance among labor, capital, and the government, and for this he has been variously labeled a corporatist or an associationalist. Hoover demanded, and received, authority to coordinate economic affairs throughout the government. He created many sub-departments and committees, overseeing and regulating everything from manufacturing statistics to air travel. In some instances he seized control of responsibilities from other cabinet departments when he deemed that they were not carrying out their responsibilities well. Some began referring to him as the Secretary of Commerce and Undersecretary of all other departments. In response to the Depression of 1920-21, he convinced Harding to assemble a presidential commission on unemployment, which encouraged local governments to engage in countercyclical infrastructure spending. He endorsed much of Mellon's tax reduction program, but favored a more progressive tax system and opposed the Treasury Secretary's efforts to eliminate the estate tax. When Hoover joined the department, Almost no families had radios. When he became president in 1929, 10 million owned one, and most of the rest listened in a nearby home, store or restaurant. Hoover's department set the policies that shaped the entire new industry. Hoover's radio conferencers played a key role in the organization, development, and regulation of radio broadcasting. Hoover also helped pass the Radio Act of 1927, which allowed the government to intervene and abolish radio stations that were deemed non-useful to the public. Hoover's attempts at regulating radio were not supported by all congressmen, and he received M.